This Birding Adventures episode is powered by Nikon, your world leader in optics since 1917, and by Jamaica. Once you go, you know. On this episode of Nikon's Birding Adventures, we journey to the wet and dry limestone forests of Jamaica. First of all, our quest takes us to the dry limestone scrub, where we'll go in search of some Caribbean endemics, birds like Bahama mockingbird and stolid flycatcher. After that, our quest takes us to the wet limestone forests of Cockpit Country, where we're going to go in search of our golden bird, the endemic yellow-billed parrot. Let's go birding. Jamaica is the third largest island in the Caribbean and one of the best island birding destinations in the world. With 28 endemic species of birds that can be found in just a few days, this island has it all. From beaches to deserts to mountains to forests, there's a huge diversity of birding habitats. Come to this fantastic island and get all 28 of these beautiful endemic birds.
Willkommen hier im Mar Blue und lassen wir doch heute mal die schönen Vögel schauen.
It's morning at Treasure Beach and I'm sitting at Mar Blue, and this is a wonderful place to spend the evening on the south coast, head up in the morning and go birding. This morning in particular we're going in quest of Bahama mockingbirds and stolid flycatchers in the Hellshire Hills of South Jamaica. Let's go birding. I'm not really sure where Hellshire Hills gets its name from, but I can sure guess. This place is hotter than Hades, and we're out looking for Bahama mockingbird and stolid flycatcher. We're going to try for the mockingbird first, and John tells me you've got to be quite careful here because there are a lot of northern mockingbirds. In fact, there are more northern mockingbirds here than there are Bahama mockingbirds. And unless you get them side by side, the differences are very subtle. Let's try and find one. Yep, that looks like it. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I think so.
Looks like we've got Bahama mockingbirds straight on top of this tree here. This place gets about maximum probably 20 inches of rain a year, and these birds somehow thrive in this arid acacia shrub. But this Bahama mockingbird is a lot chunkier than our northern mockingbird. It's also got a more dirty face, but it's got a very broad chest, and to me that is quite a distinguishing feature, the size alone. But again, like I say, there are northern mockingbirds that can get pretty big, get to approaching 27-28 centimeters, which is roughly the size of a Bahama mockingbird, but we've got it right here in the Hellshire Hills.
The years I've been coming into this area, I'm seeing less and less Bahama mockingbirds. I think they're being pushed out by the northern mockingbird. Northern mockingbird is much more amenable to having people around. The Bahama mockingbird doesn't seem to like to have all these houses that are being built close by now.
And tell me something, John, this is a bird which lives only in the Bahamas. It lives on the tiny offshore islands of northern Cuba and only on this tiny strip of the south coast of Jamaica. Is that correct?
That's right, maybe 10, 15 miles, but nowhere more than a quarter of a mile inland.
So that's a very special bird, and we've got it right here in this hot, Hades-like Hellshire Hills. We've got stolid flycatcher on top of the acacia here. Bigger bird, they call it here in Jamaica, they call it Big Tom Fool. And the sad flycatcher, they call Little Tom Fool. And it does look very, very similar to the sad flycatcher, just a larger version. This is a Caribbean endemic. It's only found on the Caribbean islands, and quite a good spot for it is right here in Hellshire Hills on the south coast of Jamaica.
This Birding Adventures episode is powered by Nikon, your world leader in optics since 1917, and by Jamaica. Once you go, you know.
We're on the Black River in South Jamaica. We're heading out this morning, going to see what birds we can find along the river, but we're also going to be looking for some American crocodiles. Let's go birding.
Alright, so welcome to the Black River Safaris. My name is Cornell, and I'll be your captain, your tour guide, Crocodile Dundee, and your lifeguard. Yeah man, we're off to see birds, wetland vegetation, and of course, Jamaican shy and inoffensive crocodiles. The black crown-eyed heron, most likely is a predatory bird. These are the birds from their nest, eat their eggs and their young ones. But because of the constant red eyes, most recently now we start calling it the marijuana bird in Jamaica. Look like he smokes too much because of the red eyes.
Never heard that before, but we've got black crowned night herons smoking too much grass in Jamaica. Probably the two most sought after birds on the Black River are the purple gallinule and also the least bitten. American purple gallinule and least bitten, and this is the habitat that the least bitten likes to frequent, and in fact we've got one right over here. We're just going to move and drift in a little bit closer, but you can see the thing that least bittens do when they feel threatened is they do what's called sky pointing, and they camouflage themselves by pointing their bills straight up at the sky. It's also known as bittening, and in that way they'll look just like a reed. And that's what that little bittern is doing right now. And we've got an American purple gallinule right over here on the lily pads. Such a beautiful bird. That bright metallic blue coloring. Both the American purple gallinule and the least bitten are birds which we do get in the United States. Best place to see them would be Florida. But if you want to see tons of them, come down to the Black River in Jamaica.
Alright, so we're in the largest wetland of Jamaica, 18,000 acres, or 28 square miles, known as the Great Morass of Jamaica. So originally, this country was known as Jamaica, the land of wood and water, with roughly 15 mountains, 8 hills, 30 rivers and 10 streams, with the Black River being the longest navigable, 44 miles or 70 kilometers long. It starts within the Cockpit Mountains of Trelawney in the north. In a snake-like pattern, it meanders down and ends south into the Caribbean Sea below the Black River Bridge. It's the home of 300 crocodiles. Now some days on these trips you'll see a lot of crocodiles. Other days you might come and you don't see a single one. But wildlife is unpredictable. But at J. Charles Swaby Black River Safaris, we guarantee a crocodile on your trip.
This is an American saltwater crocodile over here. Quite a large individual, but small by the standards that these animals will actually reach.
This Birding from the Edge segment is brought to you by Nikon, manufacturers of the Edge line of optics.
We've got an American crocodile here. It's a beautiful little creature. This is a smaller one. I'm going to try jump in and catch this creature so I can show you how amazing these creatures are and why it's so important to protect them. It's coming close. If we can just move up a little bit with the boat here. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. Just drift up to him. That's perfect. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
I got him. Check at this, guys. Look at this little American croc. Now the difference between crocs and alligators is look at those teeth. Those gnarled teeth don't go into the sockets of the other teeth, but they hang over the side of the mouth. A beautiful young American crocodile. Now let me tell you at home, do not try this at home. You must be a professional to be able to catch one of these, and you have to get special permission. These crocodiles have been protected by the Jamaican government since 1971. They are now very endangered here in Jamaica. Right here on the Black River, there are about 300 left of these babies, and we've just got one today. American crocodile, right here on the Black River. Isn't that an amazing creature? Let's let her go.
This is Birding from the Edge. When driving in Jamaica, keep an eye out on the side of the road for small pans like this, where you can find very special ducks like masked duck and West Indian whistling duck, which is a Caribbean endemic. And we've got a couple of them right behind me here in this tree.
West Indian whistling ducks are the largest of the 8 different whistling duck species. They are also the rarest. They are found in the Bahamas, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, the Turks and Caicos, Antigua, Barbuda and Jamaica. The decline of the West Indian whistling duck has been a steady but gradual one. The global population is now estimated at only 15,000 birds, and even on islands where it is relatively common, its distribution remains severely fragmented. Conservation efforts in Jamaica have helped in reversing the downward trend. In the Negril Great Morass Swamp in Jamaica, a failed peat mining project led to the establishment of the Royal Palm Reserve. This conservation effort has resulted in habitat and protection for nearly the entire population. From previously low numbers, the population has rebounded now to approximately 500 birds. Numbers of West Indian whistling ducks are finally on the rise. A beautiful thing.
Got a pair of masked ducks down here in this roadside pan. I'm going to use the sea grape as cover, but I'm getting some fairly good shots already from this distance through my Nikon Edge field scope, through my Nikon camera, with this awesome Nikon adapter. Great views of masked duck. That was awesome. I had to sneak up on a pair of masked ducks, this roadside pan, using the sea grape as cover. Got closer and closer using the sea grape, and you can just see their heads. Nice blue bill on the male and that black mask on his face. The female with a nice stripe on the head. Whew. It's a bird that I've always wanted to see in Florida. It's very rare in Florida, very tough to see. And even here on Jamaica, there can't be more than 100, 200 birds in the entire island. And we just got some great views of masked duck here in Jamaica. The national sport of the West Indies, which includes Jamaica, is of course cricket. And here we are, going to play some cricket with the locals. Let's go birding. I'm going to try. Back home they call me White Lightning, the fastest bowler that my school ever knew, but I haven't done it in years and I'm getting pretty old. So let's see if this guy with the yellow pants, see what he can do. All right. Oh! Smashes me to the boundary. First ball, what do you expect? So we've come up from dry limestone forest in the south, and here we are now in wet limestone forest in Cockpit country. Another name for this place could be the place of 1,000 hills, because look behind me here, there are all these hilltops everywhere, and on top of these hilltops is this excellent wet forest. And here we're going to go in quest of the endemic parrots, black-billed parrot, yellow-billed parrot, but also some of the endemic tyrant flycatchers. Let's go birding. 27 of the 28 Jamaican endemics have been found here in Cockpit Country. This afternoon we're going to focus on some of the tyrant flycatchers, birds like Jamaican elania, Jamaican peewee, sad flycatcher. We're also going to be looking for rufous-tailed flycatcher. All four of these are endemic to the island of Jamaica. We may be lucky and also come across Jamaican beckhard. We've seen stolid flycatcher earlier in the dry limestone scrub, and these are its counterparts in the wet limestone forest. Got the beckhard. There's male beckhard, and there's a female there as well. You can hear them calling, and it looks like they've got a nest here close by. There's a very tangled nest in the back there. That looks like a beckhard nest. Excellent. Male and female Jamaican beckhard, right here in the Cockpit Country. There's a rufous-tailed flycatcher very close to us, and the bird is actually not even afraid of us. It's just sitting here on the side of the road. Now, the Jamaicans call this big tomfool, and the reason it's probably called tomfool is because these birds allow a very close approach, and then boys can shoot them with a catapult. Like the rufous-tailed flycatcher, sad flycatcher is also called tomfool, but because it's a lot smaller, this one's given the name little tomfool.
The Jamaican elania is a species of tyrant flycatcher endemic to Jamaica. Its natural habitats are moist lowland and montane forests and moist secondary growth forests. The birds have a beautiful yellow stripe on their crown, which is hard to see, but when the birds flare their crests, the stripe becomes visible. Formerly regarded as a subspecies of the greater Antillean peewee, the Jamaican peewee is another endemic tyrant flycatcher. Tyrant flycatchers are considered the most diverse bird family on Earth, with more than 400 species. And Jamaica's tyrant flycatchers are must-see specialities of this beautiful island. Jamaica has some of the finest rum in the world. Here we are at the Runaway Bay Hart Hotel, and tomorrow morning we're heading off into Cockpit Country to go birding. But first, it's time to sample the rum.
Here you go.
All right. Cheers to some good birding.
Cheers.
Tomorrow, John.
Here we go.
Thank you very much. Now that's good. I think I might only have one of these though. Pretty strong. Thank you.
Irie man, Irie.
For a lot of people coming to Jamaica, the first bird they're going to hear and probably see is a Jamaican woodpecker, a Melanope species of woodpecker and the only woodpecker species found here on the island. Occasionally, yellow-bellied sapsuckers will also visit Jamaica, but this is the only resident woodpecker. A beautiful coloring on the back and that bright sort of red crest, nice endemic. The very first parrots we've come across here in Cockpit Country are the olive-throated parakeets, a very common bird throughout the island, but also a very pretty bird. Probably the best place to see black-billed parrot in Jamaica is here in Cockpit Country. We've got a flock of them behind us here, and one of the best ways to look for them is actually to find a fruiting fig tree. There's one on the top of this hill here. We're going to try and get a look at this bird. Black-billed parrot is the rarer of the two endemic parrot species. Yellow-billed is definitely more widespread. It's found right across the entire island. Black-billed parrot in some areas is found in ones and twos, but here in Cockpit Country you can get nice flocks of them. So we've had great views of a single black-billed parrot, and now we've got a whole lot of yellow-bills here. In pairs, there's two birds, probably four birds behind. You can see the yellow bill, very different to the black-billed parrot. Look straight at the bill. Quite raucous, you can hear that call. And looks like these birds are actually looking for nesting holes. It's the time of the year when they'll breed actually. And great place, Cockpit Country, to get all three species of the parrots here. There is a fourth species, green parrotlet, but it has been introduced to Jamaica. and would therefore be a feral population. But also, another endemic of the island here, the yellow-billed parrot, our golden bird for this show. Yes, got it.
Jamaica is that destination for the extroverts, for the introverts, for those persons who want to do everything, and for those persons who want to relax right here and do absolutely nothing. For bird watchers, we have an array of different locations on island to display our beautiful 28 endemics and then some. There are the Blue Mountains, there's Portland Bight, and all the way down in the west, on the south coast as well, we have the Cockpit Country. Definitely, it's a location for birders. This is definitely something that is very addictive, and I encourage everyone to come to Jamaica to do some birding.